So after watching the press conference, I remained more convinced that Dricus du Plessis, while he is the underdog, he is definitely going to be winning this fight. Let's watch some highlights from the press conference, and I'm going to share my thoughts along the way.
Dricus still knocks du Plessis.
As Dricus comes onto the stage, very fit. He has a lot of muscle on his frame, and this could be potentially to his detriment during the fight. We saw early on in his career he would gas out super hard. I know that he had a nose surgery, which allegedly fixed a lot of these issues, but definitely muscle-bound guy. We'll see how that works out for him in the fight.
184, the official weight for the challenger, Dricus du Plessis.
Yeesh, man, this guy really does look like a superhero when he steps on the cage. He has so much muscle on his body. He has been able to kind of manhandle some of his previous opponents, and I'm sure this strength is a big advantage.
Sean Strickland!
I don't want to read too much into this, but the way Sean enters the stage, he almost looks like a man walking on death row, like very slow, doesn't seem excited at all. It could be, I guess, trying to conserve energy. I just can't really remember seeing another fighter approach the stage for these ceremonial weigh-offs that was moving in such a slow fashion. And as we see more of this, I think it's interesting. So Sean takes this interesting position where he stands almost on the opposite side of the stage, noticeably different than any other weigh-in I've seen, where the second fighter usually can't wait to get close to the other guy and they usually will start chipping back and forth at each other. But this just strikes me as unusual, as he keeps his distance here, and it reminds me of like two dogs and one is afraid of the other dog, and so it kind of just hangs off out of harm's way, if you will. Am I reading too much into this, guys? Let me know in the comments. Gosh, it just seems so awkward. I'm not quite sure why he's doing this, or if he expected, Dricus to kind of approach him at the center of the stage, but just from all the press conferences I've seen, this just seems weird for, a face-off, a weigh-in rather, not a press conference.
184.5, the official weight for Sean.
So Dricus does take a couple steps forward in the direction of Sean, but he's kind of held back. I think they like doing the face-offs and everything to the right of the scales from the audience's view, so they kind of usher Sean over a little bit here. It's not till Dricus literally points at the floor like, you got to come up and occupy this space over here. Sean still begrudgingly moves in that direction.
On Strickland.
So eventually Sean slowly makes his way to meet Dricus. In the middle is, of course, Dana White, who does a good job at keeping the guys separate. But again, I am just so surprised at how slow Strickland is to kind of take up the space that Dricus is in. It just feels off to me. Okay, so when the guys finally start to get eye to eye, if you will, they're maybe an arm's distance away, Sean is finally bringing some intensity to his look, and I'm sure there's a lot of anger and emotions that he has built up. We've heard some of the things that Dricus has said about Sean's childhood. I know a lot of that stuff hurts, and it's interesting, and I think a lot will play out in the fight for how that affects Sean's mentality. But I'm glad we're finally getting a hard look from Sean, if you will. So Dana can tell Sean's getting a little charged up and gives him a gentle push backwards. consistently applying the pressure, I think, just to move Sean back a little bit, at which point Sean has already broken the gaze of Duplessis, how they always lock eyes, and kind of just addresses the crowd.
But like they say, be careful what you wish for. He asked for death, your wish has been granted, my friend.
Oh, man. I love what Dricus says here. Be careful what you ask for. You wanted death, and I'm going to grant that to you. Oh, that's so hard. That's the hardest line.
Do fucking war for you guys. Let's go fucking Canada.
So Sean says, yeah, we're going to do war. And he gets excited about that. He does not claim he's going to win or beat Dricus here. He says it's going to be a war. And he said other comments similarly, I don't care about the belt. And I just think he's just shying away from this. He was ranked number 7 before he fought Izzy. So in the same breath, he might even know internally that his time is probably up. And these are serious guys at the top of the division. Thank you guys so much for sticking in this long. If you're new, please like and subscribe to get more content from me for boxing and MMA. And I'll see you on the next one.